Tonight on Lost Gear, I leave a garage, crash a car, and crash a motorcycle. Welcome back, you weird people. An awful lot of you share the interest of high-performance cars and barely clothed anime characters. Because of that, some new cars with a Princess Robot Bubblegum livery have hit the San Andreas car market in the last 1.5 years, when I last tested all of the Princess Robot Bubblegum themed cars that existed back then. The link to that video is on your screen right now, or you can find it in the description below. Now, of course, said video isn't up to date anymore, since there have been 5 new cars embracing the most popular piece of Japanese culture in the Western world. And to help comparability, if that is even a word, we'll judge these new cars by exactly the same standards as the other ones. So without further ado, let's start with the first vehicle. This one is the Annis Remus. This one is massively overpriced with over $1.3 million and a car meet trade price of just over $1 million. I can only award one sensei here. Customizability is great though, quite average for a tuner car, but these exhausts granted the 5 sensei rating here. And thanks to those exhaust pipes, it also gets the 5 senseis for the VP score, as I'll call it, because they definitely make sure normal people will definitely not want to be seen with you publicly. The pace test will be at the end of this video for all of today's cars together. The next car is the Karin Futo GTX. Its less powerful brother has already been in the first video and it did very well there, apart from being painfully slow. So let's see how this one does against it. The best thing of the standard Futo was its price, and well, this one can't keep up at all. With $1,590,000, this one is way overpriced. You can get over 1,700 regular Futos for that price. You can get a trade price from the car meet, but that's still over 1.1 million. One sensei for that. At least the customizability is great with that one, as it's a tuner car, so I can only award this one 5 senseis here. As for virginity protection, not only is this livery pretty explicit, you need to invest many hours to street racing and the LS car meet to even unlock it, as it isn't available from the start. You wouldn't even have time for a partner. This car with this livery may be your only friend, which is honestly kinda sad knowing that I actually own this. Full marks here as well. Up next we have another Annis, the ZR350 this time. And well, it gets more expensive every car, over $1.6 million or just over 1.2 if you unlock the trade price. Inflation must have hit the market really hard over the last 2 years. Only one sensei here. Customization is good, but almost a little disappointing for a tuner car, so this one gets only 4 senseis here, and the VP score, well, it shows enough to make you come across like a weirdo, but this car got clawed from Liberty City late in the early 90s, so I guess that's only a 2 here. Our penultimate vehicle today is the Dinka RT3000, and let's make it short, even more expensive than the previous one, being 100k more, the trade price as well, customizability even a little less than the ZR350, but you can have this one as a topless car at least. This would be just 3 senseis, and the VP score, well, it's better than the ZR350, but not by much, so let's give it a 3. And now, for our final competitor today, we have the Nagasaki Shinobi, the second motorcycle ever in this series. And its price? Well, this is the worst one we had so far. $2,480,500 and no trade price whatsoever. If I could, I'd give it a 0 here, but since I've not done this in the first video, we can't start doing this here, so it gets another 1. But honestly, it deserves negative points for that. Customizability is meh, not as much as most of the cars, but not as terrible as the Scramjet, so there's at least 2 points here. And the VP score, well, I'm quite torn apart between a high or low rating here, as from close up, people see you're a weirdo, but from afar, you may look extremely cool on that bike, so let's meet in the middle and give that one a 3. And with every vehicle covered now, let's hit our Ford Zancudo test track for today's 1-lap pace test. And here we are on our Ford Zancudo test track. On the top left you can see the Futo GTX, top right it's the Annis Remus, bottom left it's the RT3000, and on the bottom right the ZR350. And off we go into turn 1, and well, the Remus already is struggling a bit as it is very slidey, this car, so the handling is really terrible for racing. It's pretty much a drift car, and it seems like the ZR350 is pretty much the fastest one, well, in terms of top speed, as it was the first one to reach the Pistols chicane, I guess. Close by is the RT3000, but now on the technical bit, it seems like the Remus is really gaining on them. And I think it even took the lead now, so the Remus, in terms of handling, seems to be the best out of these four. The Nagasaki Shinobi will follow later, in case you're wondering why it isn't in here. And, well, it's quite a close race now between the RT3000 and the ZR350. As the Remus now already out of the final corner, and it will probably finish first. And then it's a close battle for second. And, well, the Futo GTX is last. But now, let's focus on a single lap with the Nagasaki Shinobi. Of course, this is only the second motorcycle we've seen in this video series, but I can tell you, this is a lap that took me by surprise. It really did. So, out of the first corner we are, and we're now heading towards the Pistwasser chicane, and already I can see that this is going to be a pretty good lap. And now that long left-hander, and now the technical bit. This is pretty crucial, as we've seen a lot of great laps fall apart here. But no problems for the Shinobi here as well. Now towards the penultimate corner, that hairpin, the circuit's biggest braking zone, and oh, we almost lose the bike, but actually that wasn't too bad. And now on towards the final corner we go, and look at the time now, look at the time, only passing the 1 minute mark right now. 1:3:1:4:5:6:1:7 point something. That was an incredible lap. And let's see where this puts today's vehicles on our Lost Gear Hall of Fame. The Scramjet is still in first of the Princess Robot Bubblegum Cars, the 6th fastest car overall that we've seen. But on page 2 already, we can see the Nagasaki Shinobi, and it is right up there with the top Supersports cars. Not just it is there with the Supersports, it actually beats a lot of them. Then on page 3, the Jugular we've seen in the last episode. Then come the Sultan RS beating the Remus and the ZR350. They are in P38 and 40. The RT3000 about the same pace as the Sentinel Classic. Futo GTX, well, it was better than the standard Futo, but still nowhere near the good cars. It is right there with the Brioso RA, which really isn't that great. And then here in 71st, the standard Futo, even slower than the Vito Modern. And let's see how they scored points-wise. Now we compare them to the Karin Sultan RS, who won the overall rating the last time. And, well, we see the Remus coming quite close to the Sultan RS, but as you can see, the price is really the main issue of all of the vehicles we've seen today. They all didn't do too bad. It is just the price that is really making them suffer in the overall ratings. But Remus really a pretty fun car, and it wasn't too slow either. And what do we take from that? Well, as we've seen on the 1-lap pace test, you don't need 4 wheels to be fast. And on that wisdom, we end our show. Thank you so much for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe, and check out the Lost Gear playlist if you want to see more. Also, don't forget to leave a comment with which cars you want to see next. Until then, goodbye.